Yeah, I think walks like that allow for, like you said, a lot of like just kind of storytelling and developing those like personal connections. Being like, oh man, I remember when I was a kid, I used to. And you draw those connections, and students can be like, oh, I went on a hike last week. Last year with my class, and they're drawing on those personal experiences, and just basically boosting the memory bank and refreshing ideas and being like, oh, this is new, but it reminds me of. So developing those connections. I think there's so many opportunities for that out here.
One of the things some of us have been talking this week about, we get caught up on the drive for standardized testing, and I have to cover this material, and for me that's kind of a red flag when we say we have to cover something, because that's a way to learning. And I love the idea of taking the time to do something like a nature walk, because you have to just slow down and it's not rushed, and like that's worth the time you're investing in doing that. Let them just explore and use their senses and draw and ask questions, and not always be so frantic and like advocating for that. I think that's really important, getting outside. So
I think the temperature one for me, like next year I'm doing earth science / environmental with the climate. That's our first project is climate, so obviously that one felt really relevant to do, and to talk about sampling and like how to build out sampling and bias, and I think that could still apply there. I'm still like thinking about the other ones to connect to. I think kids get engaged when you talk about these like bigger animal species. They get interested in that, but I'm still like trying to piece that part together in my head. I'm sure it can be done, but like what they could measure that would feel like it would lead to climate information might be a little difficult in the quarter class. But definitely the temperature one for me was.
Yeah, I felt like a sponge this week. I'm not yet a teacher, but just hearing everybody's perspective. I was saying to Scott earlier, it seemed like when we were all in our designated groups, everybody was willing to bring to the table their idea, and there wasn't like, okay, well, you probably know more about this. What do you think we should do? It was like a lot of sharing, and then hearing everybody talk about, oh, this would be great. I can take this back to my school and do the take it to the school yard, study the grass around the school, study the flowers, just so to be able to extrapolate ideas, what the concepts, what we're working on out here, and take it like what you said, like taking things from a large scale to a small scale, make it tangible for the kids, so that it's not this daunting thing. It's been cool to hear everybody talk about, like, oh man, in my class we've been doing this, so I could be able to, take these, classifications of flowers, and we could look at, the classification of whatever different types of grasses around the school. Those types of ideas where, not everybody's gonna be able to come out here all the time.
right.
But that wasn't the point, to be able to be like, hey, you have to get your students out here. No, like take what we did out here, bring that to your school, figure out how that's gonna work. Like, there's cross-cutting ideas of data collection, like math and science. That's about as deep as you're gonna get on a cross-cutting concept right there. You can, you're two birds, one stone right there.
The reason why you learn math and the reason why you learn science, there's more to it than just
the relevance as well.
That multiplication test, right?
It's not, oh well, I can do the standard algorithm and I can do it within like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great, but why are you doing it? Why are you computing these things? You want to know the reasoning behind it.
Answer, and it's at the back of the book or whatever. But real science is nothing like that, and so to give them that better sense of that, and again, whether they go into science or not, those are beneficial skills to like the problem solving.
Yeah,
It's like, whoa, that's science. Like that's what science is. Like